You have $9 billion, that's $9,000 million missing in the last few years. It's alleged to be fraudulently stolen. They're sending money, the Somali community in Minnesota sending money, big money, overseas. They're contributing money, big money, to Democrat candidates and elected officials. The Democratic political machine in Minnesota has benefited from this criminal network of Somali immigrants who have systematically stolen billions of dollars of federal charitable money, essentially.
Stop everything. That number should make your jaw drop. $9 billion. Gone. And Minnesota Democrats don't want you asking where it went. Let's be very clear about what you're about to see. Congressman Clay Higgins, Captain Clay lays this in plain English. This isn't about clerical errors or government incompetence. This is about an alleged fraud empire hiding in plain sight. We're talking about billions of taxpayer dollars allegedly funneled through Minnesota. According to the claims, taxpayer cash was pumped into so-called childcare centers that didn't even have children. No families. No services. Just fake facilities acting as money pipelines, with funds allegedly being shipped overseas. And when insiders tried to expose it, they weren't thanked. They were targeted. All of this happened while Tim Walz was running the state. Not decades ago. Not under someone else's watch. Right there, under Democrat control. And suddenly, a lot of things start to make sense. So when you see politicians like Ilhan Omar constantly pushing mass migration with zero safeguards, zero accountability, and zero concern for taxpayers, start connecting the dots. The non-stop push for mass migration. The refusal to demand oversight. The anger toward anyone who asks basic questions. Because if you're running a political machine fueled by government cash, the last thing you want is accountability. What Clay Higgins exposes here isn't sloppy government. It's a system that looks designed to be abused. And the real scandal isn't just the money, it's how long they thought they'd get away with it. Now let's watch the video.
And Ms. Robbins, you're the chair of the Fraud Prevention Oversight Committee, is that correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Hudson and Ms. Rarick, you're members of that committee as well, correct?
Yes, sir. Correct.
All right, so you three collectively, America should clearly understand you have an excellent perspective what's going on inside Minnesota, in specifically regards to the fraud that we are investigating and discussing today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we have a particular community, a Somali community in Minnesota, that has stunning percentages are participating in government programs where they're drawing a lot of money, big money. This has been discussed and revealed and reported and is factual. You have a tremendous amount of criminal fraud taking place that one of my colleagues, the gentleman from the other side of the aisle, mentioned transparency. I would argue that from a regular American's perspective, it's quite transparent that something criminal is going on when you have billions of dollars disappearing into child care centers with no children in them, and you have a tremendous transfer of wealth into a relatively small immigrant community. You have $9 billion, that's $9,000 million missing in the last few years. It's alleged to be fraudulently stolen. They're sending money, the Somali community in Minnesota sending money, big money, overseas. They're contributing money, big money, to Democrat candidates and elected officials. The Democratic political machine in Minnesota has benefited from this criminal network of Somali immigrants who who have systematically stolen billions of dollars of federal charitable money, essentially. The good lady, my colleague, clarified this is money designed for poor folk that need a hand up. And we generally want that to happen in America in an effective manner. So this is the scenario that we are looking into today. Have I summed it up fairly well, Ms. Robbins?
Yes, sir. And I would just like to add.
Before you add, Mr. Hudson, is this an effective summary, sir?
Yes, sir, it is.
Thank you, Ms. Rarick.
Yes.
Thank you. So from the perspective of members of the Fraud Investigative Committee of the Minnesota State Legislature, we have a large criminal network with high percentages of participation in that criminal network from the Somali community in Minnesota. That community has tremendous influence within the political arena, specifically within the Democrat political arena in Minnesota. The Democrat political machine has been covering for this criminal network, and here we go to Governor Walz's involvement here, which is shocking to me, quite frankly, because I've been friendly with Governor Walz for many years. I served with him here. But can you discuss for me the governor's administration's involvement in intimidation and oppression and retaliation against whistleblowers? Ms. Robbins, have you had conversations with whistleblowers who have been treated like that by the Walz administration?
Yes, I have.
And can you tell us about that? Without naming the person or revealing stuff that's secret, tell us how that retaliation would happen.
So it happens in a variety of ways. They are demoted or reassigned, or they are told that they could lose their job and then their house or their pension or their retirement benefits or not qualify for unemployment. So it's...
Well, that's very serious. That's very serious allegation. I would say that's criminal retaliation. Mr. Hudson and Ms. Rarick, have you seen similar?
I would defer to Representative Rarick.
Yes. So Representative Robbins and once in a while Representative Hudson have had multiple conversations with whistleblowers, and that is exactly what they said to us, especially in a face-to-face meeting in St. Paul. That is exactly
Unbelievable.
what they said.
Mr. Chairman, my time has expired, but this leans into the criminal spectrum, sir.
Wow. This is why Democrats hate oversight, because when someone like Clay Higgins shows up, the whole operation starts shaking. But Clay Higgins doesn't do theater. He does interrogation. And what he just laid out should scare every American. This is what happens when politicians like Ilhan Omar push mass migration with zero assimilation and unlimited welfare. You don't get compassion. You get chaos. Higgins made it clear, this isn't about helping the poor. This is about wealth extraction. Billions of taxpayer dollars allegedly siphoned out of the system, sent overseas, and then cycled back to bankroll Democrat campaigns. Read that again. Your tax money doesn't just disappear, it comes back as political power. For years, Minnesota Democrats told us flooding the state with Somali refugees was about humanity. But if Higgins is right, this looks a lot less like kindness and a lot more like a business model. Import voters. Hook them into government programs. Loot the system. Funnel the money. Keep the politicians in power. Rinse and repeat. You go to work. You pay taxes. That money gets routed to a shell operation in Minnesota and shipped overseas, while the politicians in charge pretend nothing's wrong. And then Higgins turned to Tim Walz. This is where it gets dark. He asked about retaliation against whistleblowers, the people who tried to stop the fraud. And Minnesota Representative Robinson confirmed it. Demotions. Job losses. Pension threats. Careers destroyed. That's not governance. That's intimidation. That's mob behavior. Fraud is bad enough. But crushing the people who expose it, that's a cover-up. If Walz knew and his administration went after whistleblowers, he doesn't belong in office, he belongs under investigation. Clay Higgins did what almost no one in Washington has the backbone to do. He connected mass migration, unchecked welfare, and Democrat political power into one ugly picture. Credit to Higgins for saying what everyone else is afraid to say.